A bizarre allegation has been made against Velveteen Dream, and is a major AEW star set to return. But first, AEW is set to make a huge profit in 2022. Right now, pro wrestling is arguably hotter than it's been in many years, with two United States-based promotions airing on national television week in, week out. In a recent interview with Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, AEW President Tony Khan would speak on his company's recent financial successes, with AEW All Out 2022 already surpassing a $1 million gate, making that now 3 pay-per-views in a row. Not only that, but he feels the upcoming AEW Dynamite Grand Slam could be the first television taping to do the same. As for the finances overall, Khan would reveal that he's optimistic on the state of the industry, adding how much AEW is set to make in 2022, and he would say, "We have a chance to hit these heights at the perfect time. I would say the success we've had has been so great. The way the business is going right now, you're, Meltzer, the most optimistic person I know. 99% of what you say is pointing people in that direction. This is the first time there have been 2 wrestling companies that have the ability to be the #1 show that night on cable. And 2 wrestling companies that are grossing that kind of money. I'm not going to gross $1 billion, but I'm going to gross over $100 million this year. That's pretty unprecedented, and it's been over 20 years since anybody is doing that. To me, success is sustaining it." Tonight, AEW hold their next pay-per-view, All Out, from Chicago, Illinois, a show that proves to be another financial success for the promotion, despite doubts from the wider wrestling fan base regarding the sustainability of the company. Next up is a current AEW champion being punished for backstage heat. Last week it was revealed that AEW Women's World Champion Thunder Rosa will be out of action for an undisclosed amount of time due to injury, with there being an interim champion being crowned in the meantime. It would then be reported that Rosa has received a lot of backstage heat from members of the women's division, with accusations of her sandbagging her opponents and being uncooperative. Speaking on his Keeping It 100 podcast this week, Conan would reveal his interactions with Rosa, with her once telling him one thing before telling him another, leading him to think that something could be up. And he would say, "I actually asked her, I said, yo, why would you tell me that it's your knee when it's your back?" She said, "Oh, I thought I told you it was my back." I go, "No, you told me it was your effing knee. Why would you say that? It's either your knee or your back. There is no confusing it." That's like me telling you, "Yeah, I'm not going to show up because I have an eye infection," and then I go, "No, what I really meant is my knee." The conspiracy guy in me felt like maybe, and I can be absolutely wrong, that maybe for having problems backstage, they sat her down and said, "Say you're injured, but she can also be injured." Whilst this is merely a theory by Conan, you can see how he came to this conclusion. Either way, an interim AEW Women's World Champion will be crowned tonight at AEW All Out, when Toni Storm, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Hikaru Shida battle it out in a 4-way match. Next up, what did Vince McMahon tell Triple H when he took over WWE Creative? In late July 2022, Vince McMahon would be forced to step down as CEO and chairman of WWE, with Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon taking over as co-CEOs, whilst Triple H took the reins as head of creative, meaning his vision shaped the on-screen product. Speaking with Ariel Helwani of BT Sport ahead of last night's WWE Clash at the Castle event, Triple H would reveal what McMahon told him when he took on the role, making it known that he wants him to do what he thinks is best and not what he thinks Vince would have done. And Hunter would say, "Look, you're going to do things. You cannot think about how I would do things. You have to think about what you want to do and how you feel like it's best for the product. I might not like it, but I understand why you're going to do the things you're going to do. You have to do what you feel is right, but it is a tough thing to get to." No one works together for that long of a period of time without thinking, well, I would have done that slightly differently. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. We use the term all the time in the business, chocolate or vanilla. I want chocolate, you want vanilla. One of us has to pick a flavor. He would always pick the flavor, now it's my turn to pick the flavor. It's all good, it's all ice cream, but it's my time to pick the flavor, and I have to be confident in those decisions. I can't look back and say, well, what would Vince want to have for a flavor, because it just wouldn't be authentic. It's clear that Triple H would take the words to heart, with there being many changes to WWE television that likely wouldn't have happened under the old leadership, whether it be the presentation of certain superstars or the re-signing of talent that were once seen as surplus to requirements. And speaking of Triple H, does he watch AEW television? Elsewhere in the chat with Ariel Helwani, Triple H would be asked about the wrestling world outside of WWE, with him responding to a question on whether he keeps up with All Elite Wrestling. Whilst he doesn't watch every show, he's aware of what is happening in the promotion and said, "Do I watch it on a week-to-week basis? No. Am I aware of what's happening there? To a degree. I'm not following everything they do. There's sometimes I'll see somebody would say, oh, it's very similar to what they do. I'm like, I had no idea. At the end of the day, you have to focus on what you're doing. You have to focus on your product. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. If people want to watch that product, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing that's going to prevent me from doing that, right? Focus on my product, make my product the best it can possibly be, and I have confidence in that ability for this team, for the amount of people, for the talent that we have. I'll put our talent against anybody. That is how you are successful." Triple H would go on to admit that WWE keeps tabs on all relevant shows, including Monday Night Football, which directly competes with Monday Night Raw, and he also keeps up with other sports in order to be strategic when it comes to scheduling events, with him believing that all entertainment is competition. In the same interview, Triple H would sarcastically congratulate AEW for defeating NXT during what was billed as the Wednesday Night Wars, dismissing it by saying that NXT was their developmental. Obviously, at the time, he was very adamant that NXT wasn't developmental and was in fact a third brand, but it is what it is. Next up, a bizarre allegation has been made against the Velveteen Dream. In the past week or so, Velveteen Dream has hit the headlines once again after a series of recent arrests that were revealed. Well, he was now once again the subject of the wrestling news sites following a recent interview with his former NXT colleague EC3, who told a very odd story from a house party during their time as part of the Black and Gold brand. Speaking with Sportskeeda, EC3 would allege that Dream, real name Patrick Clark, would leave his phone in the bathroom of his house in order to capture footage of people, well, relieving themselves. And EC3 would say, "We had a party and it was at my place, and he came over because I'm being friendly and I'm a top guy, and I tried to welcome everybody into this thing. He left his phone in the bathroom with the camera on, trying to capture people taking pisses. So there, how did I know? Because it's my bathroom. When I walk in there and see a phone selfie style propped up on filming, where if somebody is going to take a pee, they would have had their phallus out urinating into the water. I'm like, what is going on? Am I tripping? I shouldn't be because I don't do drugs. That would trip me out. So I'm like, this is actually happening." EC3 would then go on to say how he dealt with the situation and added, "What I did was took the phone, I stopped the recording, I made sure the PP video of my wee-wee was deleted because that was happening in my home, by the way. So delete, put it back, turn it back on so it looked like it was still happening. I walk out of my bathroom because this is where I live. I sit on the couch, I go and I wait, and he goes right back into the bathroom. I go back in right after that, the phone's gone." I'm like, I can't believe this. Here's the problem. Unnamed talents that I will not name in this moment in time were probably doing other things in that bathroom. So instead of a blatant confrontation, I just said, everybody get out. I'm going to go to bed, get out. EC3 would then say that he would inform select people as to what happened before word got back to Dream, who would then accuse EC3 of recording himself. He would then have to work a match with Dream at an NXT TakeOver event shortly after and added, "We have a mini feud and it goes into Brooklyn TakeOver where as a professional, you give your body to your opponent. You protect your opponent even if you don't like them, even if you despise them, even if you record them peeing." So what happened in that match? I was concussed 3 minutes into it, don't remember a thing about it. Clark has been a free agent since May 20th, 2021, this following allegations of sending indecent images to underage boys, something which he denied doing. Although he pleaded his innocence, fans would take to social media every time he was seen on NXT television using the hashtag #FireVelveteenDream. He would then be released from the company after 5 months off of television as part of a batch of releases. Clark is yet to publicly respond to the house party allegations nor his recent arrests. And finally, a major AEW star is set to return. Adam Cole hasn't wrestled in AEW since June's Forbidden Door event, with him falling short in the IWGP World Heavyweight title match against Hangman Page, Kazuchika Okada, and the eventual winner, Jay White, who retained his belt. During the bout, Cole is said to have suffered from a very serious concussion, which led to a rushed finish. Prior to this, Cole was injured at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view in May, tearing his labrum in the final of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament against Samoa Joe, Show before winning the match. Well, with that said, it looks like we could be set for an Adam Cole return imminently, with Dave Meltzer noting in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that he is expected to be healed up, ready for a comeback soon. With there being an empty spot in tonight's Casino ladder match at the AEW All Out pay-per-view, perhaps Cole could be the Joker, something that Meltzer speculated on. Upon his return, Cole will find himself without his Undisputed Elite teammates, with Kyle O'Reilly still recovering from neck surgery, whilst Bobby Fish has been let go after his contract expired. If he does show up, his return will take place at the same event that he made his AEW debut last year, with him appearing at the end of All Out 2021, joining the Elite in the process. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 candidates for tonight's AEW All Out surprise.